Good evening everyone, and welcome to tonight's edition of Digging the Dirt Presents. Tonight we're going on a 10-minute tour to some of the most beautiful islands in the world. Welcome to the islands the Romans called the Orcades, we know as the incredible Orkney Islands. You can arrive by ferry across the Pentland Firth, crossing from the mainland of Scotland to the islands. You can fly into Kirkwall Airport. If you're lucky enough, you can sail into historic Scapa Flow. But why do people come to the Orkney Islands? What are they looking for here? Well, there's the wildlife, of course, some of the most spectacular in all of Britain. Though not all of it is fully wild. There are the great churches, the great cathedrals, evidence of hundreds of years of the spread of Christianity into the pagan north. There are the great Iron Age brocks, built to defend all of the settlements along the many islands in the chain. There is the prehistory, or there is the stunning natural beauty of the islands themselves. Thousands of years ago, before the pyramids were built, settlers crossed the Pentland Firth, coming up the west coast of Scotland by boat, looking for natural resources, trying to find a way past the stormy headlands, looking for a safe sandy beach somewhere to pull light boats up. When they arrived on the islands, they built their houses out of stone, a substitute for wood in a land that contained none. These houses, some of the oldest that survive anywhere in Europe, dating back thousands and thousands of years, giving us a glimpse into how people actually lived their lives way back in the Stone Age. We don't know what they worshipped, but we know they looked up to the heavens, to the skies, to what they could see, the incredible phenomena of the northern skies, to objects that appeared, to objects that then disappeared, to the phenomena that so enthralled them. And as they watched this procession in the sky, the fixed stars, the moving planets, the comets that arrived and went, to learn more, they built some of the greatest observatories ever built. And they built them in stone, and they built them outdoors, and they built them so well, thousands of years later, they're still here. This is the Ring of Brodgar. This is Mace Howe, long thought to be a burial mound, broken into by the Vikings in the 12th century. They sought treasure, but they found nothing, no bones, no gold. We now know what the real treasure in this place, this incredible place is. It's a calendar, part of a system, built in stone, built in a unique spot on the Orkney Islands, and on the winter solstice. That's when you see how it works. By 1000 BC, a new age was dawning. There was still no writing in the islands of the far north, but there were metals. This was now the age of iron, and a new type of person, warriors, had arrived. They were building great fortresses, brocks they were called, that littered the inlets and the islands up and down the entire Orkney chain. They guarded the flows and the inlets and the way in and out of all of the islands. But who were the people who lived in these great stone fortresses? They were known as Picts, the Picti, ferocious warriors, so fearsome the Romans built a wall to separate the civilized lands of the south from the barbarians to the north. This separation would last until new barbarians arrived, Vikings crossing from Scandinavia, terrorizing the islands, destroying the Christian settlements of the north. Great world history wasn't finished with these islands yet. This is the British Grand Fleet, ordered north to its war stations at Scapa Flow at the outbreak of World War I. Winston Churchill has ordered the fleet north to engage the German High Seas Fleet. Shoreline around Scapa Flow was littered with abandoned pianos and snooker tables as the ships stripped themselves down for war. In 1916, the Royal Navy met the German High Seas Fleet in battle at Jutland. This is HMS Warspite and HMS Malaya turning to engage the enemy. At the end of the war, in 1918, the German High Seas Fleet was sailed to the British fleet anchorage at Scapa Flow to surrender. Here it was interned until in 1919, in protest at the terms of the Versailles Treaty, the German fleet scuttled itself. Dozens of ships went to the bottom, and indeed many of them are still there. Many were raised in the 1920s and 1930s for their scrap value. Now divers are allowed onto the wrecks, and this is the world's largest supply of pre-nuclear industrial grade steel. Many medical machines that are calibrated in hospitals across the UK use samples that come from these ships. Orkney Islands, where the wildlife is friendly, if not a little daunting at times, where you can see the history of 2 world wars, set against a background of unique geology and an even more unique climate. Thank you for watching.